Science can generally be defined as the knowledge and practice of understanding of how the natural world works and functions. Science is complex in which the ideas come from prior knowledge from our own experiences, as well as from careful thoughts from people before us. The knowledge that we gain from science allows us to apply what we know to benefit society. In science, we term the nature of science as a way to summarize the thought process that occurs in science. This thought process is a connected process that allows questions and answers to continuously cycle into furthering our understanding of how the natural world works around us. The thought process involved in the idea of the nature of science can be described through four main phases. Each of these phases connects with one another, and the process tends to cycle no matter what direction you choose to go. The nature of science through thought process allows one to explore and discover an idea, to test his idea, to collaborate and receive feedback from other community members, and the new discoveries can be used to benefit society. These processes do not stop at one end, as the benefits of a particular idea may spark a new question or problem, which brings one back to the exploration and discovery phase. In addition, it is possible for the community to bring up questions that pushes one back to the exploration and discovery phase. Each of these phases allow for continuous question, discoveries, and ideas to be presented at any point in time. The first phase of the nature of science thought process to be explored is the exploration and discovery phase. In general, this phase allows for one to explore a topic in which they would want to further enhance later through experimentation. This phase allows for one to make observations and to ask questions about a particular idea or topic of interest. They can formulate more of their ideas and any additional questions by talking to other experts and colleagues, as well as exploring the literature on what has already been discovered and where they would want to further these discoveries. The second phase to be discussed is the testing phase. This phase is actually divided into two categories, the gathering data category and the interpreting data category. The gathering data category is where the actual practice and collection of data occurs. This category composes of one making a hypothesis with the expected results and observations. Afterwards, one will be able to make an experiment to test if the expected results lined up with what is actually observed. The interpreting data category is where one begins to infer what the data they just discovered means. They will identify to see if the results support the hypothesis or if it does not support the hypothesis. This area can also lead to questions of whether the results support the hypothesis in certain conditions or if the experiment was the best choice to use to explore the question. The interpreting data category can also lead one to revise their hypothesis, which may push them back to the gathering data category. These two categories in this phase can cause one to continue in the testing phase for quite some time before it can move on to the third phase. This phase can also push one back to the exploration phase, as it is possible for one to require more information before proceeding. The third phase discussed is the community feedback phase. This phase is quite important as it emphasizes the collaborative and social nature of science. Science is best performed when ideas are shared and critiqued. Critiquing ideas allows for others to be able to assist in identifying if an experiment is valid and if the results are reasonable. Collaborating with others can also allow for conclusions to be formed among similar studies, which can help solidify a question that the community initially had. With collaboration, one's work can be published in order to keep it in the records for others to be able to use as a reference in case another person would want to further the research that was previously done. Again, this phase could move back to phase 1 or 2 depending on the critique that is given. If more questions rise from the community, this phase would require more exploration or more tests before it can be accepted by one's peers. The community feedback phase can also then push this phase towards helping them form theories about various ideas, as well as to help form new questions that can further enhance the current knowledge about a particular idea. The fourth, but not final phase of the process in the nature of science thinking is the benefits and outcome. In general, this is the phase where one can draw conclusions and formulate an argument about the discovery that was made. The conclusions that are made assist to help others know some of the benefits that the discovery has on the community. The knowledge known from this discovery can be applied to solve current problems or to create technology. The knowledge concluded in the last phase can also push one to explore more in order to redesign parts of the experiment to see if there is more improvements that could be made to answer further questions that came from the initial conclusion. While the benefits and outcome is the last phase of the nature of science, the scientific process of thinking does not end. Rather, at each step in the process, one has the ability to continue on in the cycle in a way that each step requires one to ask questions and to continue to seek out an answer. The cycle of the nature of science allows for us as a community to continue to seek out answers through questioning, observing, and experimenting. It allows us to collaborate with one another to brainstorm how our world works in a way that we can always look forward to having a deeper understanding after each step along the way. In addition to many science-related jobs and careers, the nature of science thought process occurs on a daily basis for many, even in the everyday jobs. Many jobs are constantly looking to improve and enhance one's product in order to help the public to become interested in consuming it. This requires that one continuously research what people want and to try a few ideas before they reach their goal. This thought process is used quite often in many ways in life, and some of them are represented here.